We are entering the age of electricity. The more we go for clean energy, the more resistant we are to this crisis, because nobody can take solar or wind as a hostage.
Welcome to The Big Question, the series from Euronews where we speak to some of the biggest names in business. I'm Hannah Brown, and today I'm joined by Dr. Fatih Birol, the Executive Director of the International Energy Agency. So thank you for joining us again. You released the World Energy Outlook 2024 in October. So can you tell me what has changed in the past year? What progress has been made?
So at the World Energy Outlook, we see at least two major trends, which is important for Europeans, but for the entire world. One of them is when it comes to oil and natural gas, which are key for our economies, for our industries. In the next years to come, we expect that the prices will see a downward pressure, which is good news for the economy. Because of a lot of new production, supply will come, and the demand, especially for oil, is weaker than in the past. Because Chinese economy is getting weaker and lots of electric cars are sold around the world. So this is one news which will make the hands of the energy buying countries stronger than the energy exporting countries. This is number one. The second one is that there was an industrial revolution centuries ago, and with this we had the age of coal, followed by age of oil. We use a lot of oil. We still use oil. We will use more. But we see that we are entering the age of electricity. Now, lots of electricity is used for, again, the cars. In the developing world, more and more air conditioners are sold. They are a major source of electrification. And the AI chips demand a lot of electricity. So we are moving the age of electricity. And the good news is, most of this electricity is going to come from clean energy. Solar, wind, hydropower, geothermal, and nuclear power.
As we're hurtling towards 2030 and all of the climate goals associated with it, how are the current global conflicts affecting the energy transition?
In fact, climate change is a global problem. The emissions going to atmosphere from Jakarta or from Lyon or from Johannesburg or from Stockholm, it has the same effect on everybody. Emissions don't have a passport, which means that we need a global solution and international collaboration, countries coming together, which is the easiest way to solve this problem. But what I'm seeing today is there is a fragmentation among the countries, which is making the life much more difficult to reach our climate goals. So I see this as a key barrier in front of having a global solution to one of the most important threats of our planet. And I very much hope that despite these political divisions among the countries, when it comes to climate change, countries are able to come together. We shouldn't forget that climate change is a problem of not only tomorrow, but also today.
Yes. And thinking about today, how vulnerable is the current energy situation? And what would happen if more conflict emerges?
I really hope that we will have less crisis. And the issue is, the more we go for clean energy, with the solar, wind, hydropower, the more resistant we are to this crisis, because nobody can take solar or wind as a hostage. You can do oil and gas, but not solar and wind and the others. So in fact, the more this energy security threats as a result of the political tensions here and there, we see the stronger the push for clean energies, not only for climate change reasons, but for energy security reasons. So this is an interesting dilemma.
Interesting, yeah. And so you mentioned wind and solar and those green energies being a really good way of protecting us from future global crises.
Exactly.
Is there any other green energies that you think are severely underdeveloped that we really need to be thinking more about going forward?
I think there is one which will be more and more important in Europe, but also in other parts of the world, which is geothermal energy. And this can help us to to generate electricity without interruption. It is not going to be bound by the availability of like solar and wind with the nature, but it is 24/7 there. And second, it is clean energy. So we are working on to bring the cost of geothermal energy down so that it also complements solar and wind.
Brilliant. Looking forward, next year you'll be putting out the next World Energy Outlook. What would you like to see change before then?
I really want to see that the countries, instead of having difficulty with each other politically, they come together, especially when it comes to global issues such as climate change, and try to get some consensus how we go forward. This is the major challenge we see today, especially when it comes to support emerging and developing countries, clean energy financing there, because we see a lot of investment happening in clean energy, but big chunk of it is happening in the advanced economies in China. Only a small portion is happening in the emerging and developing world where the bulk of the population lives today.
And actually, on that topic of investment, how have we, in the past year, how have we seen kind of the investments into clean energies develop?
Well, it's going well. Just to give you an example, 6 years ago, the entire investment of energy in the world was 2 trillion.
Okay.
1 trillion for clean energy, 1 trillion fossil fuels.
Okay.
This year, the entire is 3 trillion, one still for fossil, but 2 for clean. Okay. So clean went from 1 to 2, double the clean energy investment. This is a very good news. Not high enough, but still a good increase, doubling. But the problem is most of them are in advanced economies in China.
So if it's not enough, what does it need to be in order for us to achieve the goals that we have set?
So what is lacking today is the financing clean energy in emerging and developing countries. 85% of this 2 trillion is in advanced economies such as Europe, United States, Canada, and the others, and China. 15% in the rest of the world, where more than 2/3 of the global population lives. So we have to find ways to support those countries.
Yes, okay, brilliant. Well, thank
Perfect.
you so much for your time today and for joining us again on The Big Question. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Tune in next Monday for another brand new episode of The Big Question.